we'll resume county commission. And first on is the salary resolution.
And we, of course, went through this
Yeah.
last week and had a public hearing.
It is. It's nice if I'd have known.
We didn't
Well,
know
I'll go-
either,
I'll
Franklin.
go down and get my stuff. Well, I was up here, I've been down the commissioner's room.
Oh,
Oh. Didn't get the memo.
There was no memo.
there was no memo. When I walked in, Corey came up to me and said, "Ah, you got a meeting?" I said, "Yeah, I do." And he said, "We got court." And I said, "We can move, it's no big deal." You know? I'm not sure if this table is too tall.
It is.
I need one of those Webster dictionaries that was about that thick.
Howdy, howdy.
Oh, Mr. Franklin.
Huh?
Hello, Mr. Franklin.
Yes.
I guess we didn't hide very well, did we?
Well, I hid for a while anyway.
No, Corey called me when I came in.
Yeah, I was up there before it was here. Oh, quite a while ago. And they said, so we said they're going down there.
So I said, "Well, how long will you be?" And I said, "Well, we won't be long, but I can't promise, you know, you don't know." So he said, "We can wait." And I said, "No, go for it and do our thing." Okay, let's start up again. And what we have on is salary resolution for fiscal year 2015 and 16. Comments? Franklin, comments?
Well, last I saw the salary conversation, I'm against it, so.
Can you tell us why?
I'm not gonna comment right now.
Okay.
Does Commissioner Slifta understand what it is we're doing today? Do you understand what the salary resolution is?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is not to discuss salaries, this is actually to adopt the resolution that publishes to the public what salaries are. So you're opposed to letting the public know?
No, I'm not against that. Public deserves to know.
Okay, all right, so we're all on the same page then. Madam Chair, there's just one thing I'd like to address is I think the DES safety coordinator is split with the state. We did discuss that last week. I'd just like to see that differentiated in the resolution, just like the county attorney and the extension positions.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no problem just having that put in.
Well, if you look at extension, they've got county, and then they've got what MSU pays,
Exactly.
just below that.
And then the other one, we do have a secretary currently for the extension department, although Debbie is retiring. And so I guess Allison was talking about advertising that position, I believe at 12 an hour. So I think that that should say 12 through 1466, depending on experience. And then the other one is sanitarian.
Hold it back a minute.
Sure.
On extensions, secretary is what?
Allison was looking at advertising that at 12 an hour. So I think it should say $12 an hour through 14.66.
Okay.
And then the final one is the sanitarian, where it says clerk, not at this time. It's locked in right now at 13.74 per hour.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should also start at 12. Again, with experience, we can go, to what the last secretary or clerk was making, but we need to have a starting point, in my opinion. That's all I see.
I think she saw you.
So,
Oh, I'm sorry, I was
all this
right.
information on this salary resolution, this is all etched in stone. There's no changes to be made.
No. This is what it, can't even talk. I lose my voice. The salary commission sets the salaries for the elected officials. And then we in turn can set the salaries for the rest of them. We've always given the employees whatever the elected official got. We've passed that on down to the people under them to get a decent raise.
But you're giving them 1.6% COLA, despite the fact that Social Security gets Zippo this year, and an increase in their Medicare, and military retirement gets Zippo, and an increase in their Medicare?
Really?
Yes. Social Security and retired military and government get Zippo.
You can bet the boys in DC didn't get Zippo.
The folks in Broadwater County did.
Tim?
Madam Chair, Tim Ravendall. Just a couple questions, ma'am, for clarification. I think if I recall back in February, the county adopted resolution for salary that's been recorded with the clerk and recorder. This, I just got a copy of this today from Debbie downstairs, and I was just looking, and I'll
Is that
just
this
use.
year's?
Pardon?
Is that one this year's?
It says 2015, 2016.
That's what all I need to know.
And so what I'm looking at, and then the one that was adopted in February, I believe, is the 2015 resolution. If I'm, and again, please correct me if I'm off base here, but
14, 15.
my understanding is that salary resolution was adopted in February, and now we're coming in November to, I guess for lack of better terms, to make some corrections and or do some adjustments to that, because this is like,
No, that's
well,
not the
okay,
case.
let me finish. if that's not the case, then if there are no corrections, when I look, and I'll just use the commission line down where it's 2/3 time, we look at what was adopted in February, and that was 29,000 some odd dollars. And now this one that you guys are looking at adopting today is 30,000 some odd dollars, which is an increase. So I question where that comes from. And in the third line under the commissioners, I have no idea where that comes from, and I would like to respectfully ask for an explanation on the third item under commissioners, where hourly add-on, and under what authority do we look at for making that happen, and how does that compare to the resolution adopted in February, since that was not on the resolution in February?
Okay.
That's just a kind of a...
I'm gonna start back. The resolution that came about in February should have been done earlier. That was to start fiscal year in July 1 and come forward. Now, this one is for starting in July 1 of this year, coming forward. Does that make sense?
Okay, so the one in February was actually for 2014, 2015,
That's exactly
and now
right.
we're looking at 2015, 2016.
Exactly.
So that would be the reason for the differences.
That's exactly right.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
That clears that up. So to follow up on maybe, please, Madam Chair, for an explanation of where does that third line on the commission
I'd
hourly
like to tell you that.
add-on come from?
Our insurance, our county insurance is with the Teamsters. They have a thing that says everybody has to be considered full-time and has to take the insurance.
I understand that arbitration.
Right. I said, I don't want the insurance, I'll pay my own insurance.
Mhm.
So anybody over that, because we weren't at 100%, anything up to get, so that they could be more, how do I want to say that? It makes it, they have to work 32 hours a week. And in order to do that, there's where the hourly add-on comes. So these two are making more than I am because they're working more hours than I am.
That isn't the
Okay,
whole
so
picture.
that doesn't go, Madam Chair, excuse me, that doesn't really go to my question. I understand if you're not collecting insurance, then certainly you would not be needing to qualify under the 32-hour minimum. So you would be back at, which kind of leads to the other question that I have as far as the 26-hour, which has been standard for a long time here in the county. The arbitration required that to go to 32 for insurance policies, but if you're at 26 because you don't need that, there's still a cloud in my mind, Madam Chair, for how this add-on that's listed here in this new resolution comes about, because it doesn't say really, it doesn't even reflect the 32-hour arbitration requirement. It talks about 40 hours and working up to. So leaving the door wide open, Madam Chair, to potentially say, hey, we can work up to 40 hours a week, where the citizens, and this is why I asked the questions, the citizens really are under the understanding that as long as I've been in Broadwater County, we have part-time commissioners. And so if we arbitrarily give ourselves up to 40 hours under any definition of Montana statute or federal labor, that is a full-time job. So I am asking that question for that reason. Where does this come from, and under what authority, other than the 32-hour mandate from the arbitration for insurance purposes, do we come up with up to 40 hours a week? It's just cloudy to me, Madam Chair, and I respectfully ask for clarification.
Not a problem. I'm just trying to think of how do you word this. We got sued by the Teamsters because not everybody was on the insurance. myself included. There was 4 of us that didn't take county insurance. And therefore, they made a ruling, Teamsters did. In order to anybody have insurance, everybody had to have insurance. And that meant I'm out the door on insurance because I wasn't about to change. I'd been with the state for many years and lots of surgeries, and I only felt like it was fair that I stayed there and give them money, even though it's money out of my own pocket. So, therefore, how do I say this? Pardon me. Help me out on this, Lord. I can't even remember.
Sure. I think the first thing that needs to be put on the table is that Mr. Ravindell is speaking for Mr. Ravindell, period. He is not speaking for the citizens of this county. Now that that's out there, this isn't
Madam
arbitrary.
Chair,
No.
point of order. Point of order, Madam Chair.
You're interrupting. Let her finish,
Point of
and then
order.
you can talk.
The second point is this wasn't arbitrary. Like you said, this was part of a lawsuit. We worked on this with the county attorney. This was the subject of many public meetings. I don't have a count, there's too many to count. So, as far as any confusion on Mr. Ravindell's part, that's fine, we can certainly illuminate him here in this meeting.
Wow.
So, for a couple of points, the commissioners did get a bump from last year because everybody got a little bit of a bump. What happens at the federal level, what happens at the county level, they're two different things. The county can afford cost of living raises this year for the employees, and so we did that for all employees. So that, excuse me, you guys are,
Come on, guys.
if you want answers to your questions.
I'm trying to listen, but respectfully, Madam Chair, I called for a point of order under Robert's rule.
I will finish just, you asked me to help you out? Okay, so that's the first question that Mr. Ravindell asked. The second one to line 3, that is in the interest of transparency for the citizens and to let people know what the issues are. This does come from the lawsuit that Elaine brought forward, and what it says is up to 40 hours. That is to ensure that no commissioner will be paid for hours over 40 hours. That's it. As far as the money, one thing that needs to be put on the table and everybody needs to understand is that this is probably the most fiscally responsible way to save the taxpayers' money that we have done on this entire salary resolution. With that, if you look at the third line, the one you asked about, the hourly add-on, $17,694.72. That is for each commissioner, should all 3 commissioners work up to, but not above, the 40 hours. We can certainly work 50, we're only paid for 40. So each commissioner, if you divide that by 3, is $5,898. We had a commissioner about a year and a half ago that wrote a commissioner's viewpoint in which he wanted a secretary. There were also numerous public meetings on getting one commissioner a secretary. If you look at $10 an hour for just 20 hours a week, you come up with a total cost of $12,480. Now, 2 commissioners have said they're not interested in working more than the 26, and therefore that $17,000 will be underused. So you're comparing actually $5,900 to over $12,000. The other point that needs to be clarified on this is the citizens are not paying the commissioners anything over $26 an hour or 26 hours a week unless we work on behalf of the citizens for that time. That actually is not a bad way for all elected officials, be it county, legislative, Congress, or even the White House, to have a small stipend and then be paid hourly so that we are ensured that we are getting our full dollar's worth. The third point I would make, and this goes back to the secretary, if we had all commissioners fully engaged and educated on all the different issues, we would have some quality debates of this commission, and that's what we need. Elaine brings to the table institutional knowledge that goes back a very long time. So in that way, you know, commissioners need to take this job seriously. And I do think, Madam Chair, that there isn't a small group of people who would like to make this job as unattractive as possible. We've seen from 2013 and 14 incredible intimidation used against the commission personally, and that is to intimidate good people from running for this job. So I think that by offering good qualified people a reasonable salary, I think will attract more qualified individuals to run for these positions. I hope that clears it up.
Kim's first.
Madam Chair, on my point of order, I didn't ask for a lecture, Madam Chair. I asked for a clarification from you, Madam Chair, on how this is authorized. I never asked anything about the COLA and the discrepancy between national. That came from another citizen. Now, I'm not here to argue with you folks. I'm here only as a citizen trying to get better informed. And I think, Madam Chair, the contempt is just unacceptable in this room.
Thank you. Yes.
But if the lawsuit with the Teamsters said that you've got to work 32 hours a week, why are we going to be paying any more than that a week for the commissioners?
Pardon me.
When the job is supposed to be part-time?
And it's up to 40 hours. It doesn't say.
But why doesn't it say up to 32? If it involved because of the Teamsters lawsuit?
Madam Chair, that was part of the settlement language that opened the door for up to 40 hours. It was 32 hours or more. I don't have it with me, but that was the language of the settlement.
But if it opened the door, you don't have to push it to the 40. You can leave it at the 32.
Perhaps, yes.
And Madam Chair, I think too, you know, if the job gets done in less than, then certainly I think any reasonable person does that. The problem is there's work to be done. And so you get the work done and see where that takes you.
Madam Chair, Ann Rouser, I thought we had the hearing on this last week.
We did have the hearing on it last week. This is only supposed to be a decision, as it states on it.
And this is moot.
Franklin, comments?
I can make a lot of comments, but I'm not gonna right now.
That's fine.
I'll leave that open.
How are you, Dana?
Good. I forgot to mention, it's more fact I didn't get this till just a little while ago. This is that bid package for our grader that we're gonna bid, that you might wanna sign. Cause I gotta have it in the paper. I mentioned a few weeks ago. So,
I will move that we approve the bid package for the road crew.
Second?
I'll go along with the bid package at this point.
It's been moved and seconded then that we sign the bid package for a new grader, 2014. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I didn't hear you, Franklin.
Yeah.
I don't understand, what way are you voting?
It's okay with me, that's what I said. Put the big package out, I'm not against that.
So how do you like that grader?
I don't know, I don't run it.
Hmm.
Guess TJ likes it. 6-wheel drive's a lot better than
And
2.
that's what it is?
Yeah.
Quite a few people who commented last time that it should have been a 6-wheel.
I know.
But
But, you know, they got that other one, it was handy and it was here, and so I I guess that's why we got it.
Yeah.
But
You
it
do
worked.
what you can at the
It
time.
worked. This will be better though for the,
Yeah, pass it down.
Yes.
anyway, alright. Thank you.
Thanks, Dana.
Yep.
Okay, back to the salary resolution.
So Madam Chair, with just those few changes, since they're pretty minor, I would move that we approve the salary resolution and sign it with those changes, just as soon as we can ask Debbie to change the document, unless you'd like to wait till next week.
So what if I,
Okay.
second, Franklin? I'll second it. It's moved and seconded then to sign the salary resolution for fiscal year 2015-16. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose the same?
No.
Mark Franklin is a no. Okay, and next is the org chart.
I would move that we approve the org chart as submitted.
I just meant because
Oh, sure.
there were some changes and I can't remember. Okay, on the fair, Michelle has resigned,
Oh, thank you.
and so we have Allison in there.
No, Jessica. Crush.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Okay.
So I will amend my motion to include the changing of Christensen M under fair to Crush J.
Okay,
And
any, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and with adoption with that one change.
Franklin, any comments? No comments? I'll second the motion. It's moved and seconded then that the Broadwater County Organizational Chart be approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the same?
No.
Mark Franklin is a no. Anything else for the good of the order?
Not for me.
Anyone have anything else either? We'll adjourn. That's my understanding that pardon me, that the sheriff's office is willing to give us a tour.
Oh, good. You know, I know we're adjourned, but these are the people we're serving. This is the reason we do what we do.
Exactly.
That's really a great picture.
And that one was just printed off the computer, it wasn't anything